They are proof that true power comes from within. Imagine this. Someone is trying to provoke you, embarrass you, or dominate you. But instead of reacting with anger, you respond with such calm, razor-sharp words that the entire conversation changes. That's the art of Stoic communication. Strength without shouting, authority without arrogance, and silence that speaks louder than noise. Today, you'll discover 5 Stoic responses so powerful they can silence anyone. Use them wisely, not to humiliate, but to protect your peace, guard your dignity, and command respect. And I'll warn you now, response number 3 is so effective it can disarm even the most manipulative people in your life. Stay with me until the end, because these are not just phrases, they are tools. Response 1. Calmness is greater than volume. Picture this. Someone starts yelling, convinced that volume equals victory. They're louder, harsher, and certain they're winning because their voice dominates the room. Most people get trapped in that energy. They shout back, they argue louder, and suddenly it's no longer about truth. It's about noise. The Stoic, however, doesn't fall into that trap. They don't need to shout, because their composure itself is power. The response: I don't need to raise my voice to prove my point. Say it calmly, say it firmly, and watch what happens. The person expecting a fight suddenly feels a shift. Their energy bounces back on them. They realize they can't drag you into chaos. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best answer to anger is silence." But silence doesn't mean weakness, it means control. And when your calm voice cuts through noise, everyone in the room sees who really holds the strength. Response 2. Character reveals itself. Here's a truth. When someone attacks you with sarcasm, cruelty, or disrespect, they reveal more about themselves than they do about you. The Stoic knows this. That's why they don't bite back with equal poison. Instead, they use this simple but devastating response. The way you speak says more about you than it does about me. Think about the effect. You're not arguing, you're not insulting, you're reflecting. Like a mirror, you hold up their behavior so they see it for what it is. And here's the twist. People often hear their own words differently when reflected back to them. What sounded powerful in their head suddenly sounds small when exposed. Seneca warned us, "To speak in anger is like throwing stones into a wasp's nest." You don't need to join the chaos. Instead, let their own words sting them. By choosing this response, you remind them, and everyone else listening, that real strength doesn't stoop low. It stands tall. Response 3. Refusing to play a rigged game. Now we arrive at one of the most powerful responses a Stoic can use. Sometimes an argument isn't really an argument. It's a trap. The other person doesn't want resolution. They want to dominate. They want to win, no matter the cost. And here's where most people lose, by staying in the game, hoping it will turn fair. But Stoics know, you don't win by fighting on poisoned ground. You win by stepping away. The response: let's continue when we can speak respectfully. It's not retreat, it's a boundary. You're not avoiding the subject, you're refusing to waste energy in a space where respect doesn't exist. Epictetus taught, you cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control how long you choose to engage with it. This response embodies that wisdom. It resets the conditions. If the other person refuses respect, they lose the privilege of your time. And when you calmly assert this boundary, you do something rare. You change the rules of the game. And in that moment, you regain control. And when you end a toxic conversation calmly, you demonstrate that danger. But rather than storming off or falling silent in frustration, the Stoic exits with dignity. The phrase is simple: I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. Notice the language. It's not hostile, It's not dramatic. It's calm, respectful, but final. When you say this, you're signaling something powerful. My peace is worth more than proving myself. My energy will not be wasted on someone unwilling to listen. I choose control over chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." By choosing to end the exchange, you remind yourself that your time, focus, and emotions are yours to protect. Response 5. Independence from approval. Finally, we come to the response that separates the free from the enslaved. Not all pressure comes from enemies. Sometimes it comes from people we love, parents, partners, friends, colleagues, who insist we accept their opinions as truth. But Stoics know the greatest prison is living for the approval of others. So the response is, I respect your opinion, but I don't share it. It's elegant, it's firm, it acknowledges their perspective while affirming your independence. You don't need to fight, you don't need to persuade, you simply stand on your ground without hostility. Seneca reminded us, to be enslaved to the opinion of others is the worst slavery of all. By calmly asserting this phrase, you show emotional independence. You free yourself from their approval, and that freedom forces others to respect you, whether they agree with you or not. That's Stoic wisdom, and if you embrace it, you'll find that the world grows quieter, not because there's less noise, but because you've risen above it. They're shields for dignity. They're reminders that your calmness is your greatest strength. Use them wisely. When others shout, let your calmness cut deeper. When others insult, let their words reveal themselves. When respect is absent, set the boundary. When conversations turn toxic, walk away. And when pressure mounts, choose independence. If this resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. And tell me in the comments, which response are you going to use first? Because wisdom only matters if we put it into practice.